May the Triple Man bless you. Welcome to the Heladeepa Buddhist channel. Today we are going to have another important discussion with Reverend Upali Thero, who is from USA. Today we wish to have a discussion on, we know that when we are meditating there are some thoughts or that problems arise in our mind. So we call that hindrances, obstacles. So what are the main obstacles, Reverend, so that when we are doing meditation, or how can we get rid of from all those hindrances? What are the obstacles that we can?
Okay, well, first of all, let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
There is as you probably know, we have what they call the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yeah.
And samadhi is means the great, or they often translate that as right concentration.
Yeah.
But actually, samadhi is more of a peacefulness of the mind.
Stillness of the mind.
Stillness of the mind, right stillness.
Yeah.
Okay, the right stillness, by definition, is what they call the four jhanas,
Yeah.
which are meditative states that arise with meditation, with the quiet type meditation. These jhanas may arise in the mind.
That means some of the features of dhyanas.
Well, we won't go
arise.
into them.
Yeah,
They're just deep stages.
Yeah.
They're just deep states of well, okay. The first jhana is characterized by great joy.
Yeah.
Okay. Second jhana, the joy decreases, but the talking in the mind goes away, and so forth. There's four of them, and then other sutras talk about 8 and deeper meditation. The point is that the sutras always begin with a phrase like this: the meditator, or the monk, he goes to the forest or the root of a tree or some empty place, and having temporarily overcome these nivaranas, then enters into the jhana. So what are these nivaranas? There are said to be 5 of them. So when these nivaranas are temporarily suppressed, or maybe not suppressed is the right word.
Overcome?
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah.
If one can overcome that temporarily, stop that coming to those things.
Yeah, okay. They seem to abate. They go down.
Yeah.
And when these nivaranas lessen, then we are more apt to have a very quiet meditation. So
then we can have a quiet mind then when we have less these obstacles.
Right, right. So these obstacles or hindrances to the quiet mind. So there are 5 of them. The first one is kama chanda, which is
sense desires.
Desires for the senses, exactly. Desire for sense pleasures.
Yeah. How do you explain?
Well, let's go through all 5 first.
Yeah.
The second one is
Vyapada.
Vyapada, which literally means I call it
ill will, or
ill will, as opposed to goodwill. Ill will. It could be anger. It could be desire to harm someone. It could be desire for revenge.
Yeah.
But ill will. Third one is
we call Tina Midda.
Tina Midda. Tina Midda literally means sloth and torpor, laziness. I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. You know, not laziness so much as, oh, I'm so tired today, I won't meditate today. You know, because meditation is a process that is active in the mind. It's not a passive thing. We are relaxed and we are letting things go, but there's still a little bit of effort going on in the mind. That's what the right effort is. So Tina Midda, when that disappears, then we have more effort. We have more power for our meditation.
Next one is Uddacha Kukkucha, that means restlessness of the mind.
Restlessness, hurry and flurry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever noticed, but often the mind is so busy thinking about tomorrow, what I'm going to do, and I'll do this. No, I'll do that first. No, maybe I'll do this one first. I'll do that, then I'll do this, then I'll do this. Oh, wait a minute.
Or his mind goes with the past and the future.
Making plans. That's what the main thing about Uddacha Kukkucha is we can't sit down. We're so busy thinking about this and thinking about that, thinking about something else. So that is the Uddhacha Kukucha. Hurry and flurry is the way it's often translated. Okay, and then the last
Vichikiccha.
Vichikiccha.
That means doubt.
Skeptical doubt.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about, the opposite of doubt is faith.
Yeah.
And people talk about, well, faith is not needed in Buddhism, and it's not there's some religions where faith is central.
Yeah.
But even in Buddhism, there is a lot of faith in that we think that maybe this practice will produce some desired effect. So Vichikiccha says, oh, it'll never work. This won't work for me. Oh, I can't do it.
And doubt on Dhamma also sometimes.
Doubt on the Dhamma because the Buddha said this, but then he said this over there, and then he said something else over there, and that doesn't make sense, and I don't believe it. And so all these sort of things come up, and such that they remove our desire to meditate. So going to the forest, an empty place, the root of a tree, having put away these nivaranas, the monk then, or the meditator, can enter into the first jhana.
Okay. Let's explain one by one how
sure.
can we,
Yes, let us
the
do
first
that.
one, Panchanivara, that means sense desires. How do you see that? Sense desires, how one can overcome those sense desires?
Well, first of all, what are sense desires?
When somebody meditates?
Well, the most common, actually I'm not sure it's the most common, but food, good drinks, having a massage,
taste and tangible, and
or it could even be thinking about one's sweetheart, boyfriend or girlfriend, and kissing and hugging and being close. All these
sense-based desires.
All these sense-based desires, memories, reveries, they all tend to get our mind away from the quiet place that we're looking for. So one of the things about sense desires is that probably the biggest one, the Buddha says this in Anguttara Nikaya, Book of the Ones. He says there's one thing that is very strong in men. What is the one taste or the one smell or the one touch that men have? And it's for a woman, or the odor of a smell of a woman or whatever. But the same for women, for men. And one of the ways to cause sense desire to dissipate is to think about the
present moment.
No, the object as it really is. For example, we'll say we have a beautiful woman. I'm a man, so I think about a beautiful woman. I think of a beautiful woman, very young, very fresh. We say sexy. But really, when you think about it, what is a human being? It's just...
So see the thing as the true nature of the body.
Well, what is the true nature of the body? It's just a bunch of gooey things tied up in a skin bag. You open the skin bag and all of this is bleh. Garbage, is intestines and blood, and so the beauty is only on the outside. So the actual sense, the object of our senses is actually, it's actually, when we think about it, it could be even repulsive. How about a fine food?
Food, in case of the food.
Okay, but 2 hours or 6 hours after you eat, what do you have? Where's the fine food?
Digested.
Digest and excreted. Nobody likes that. Okay, so if we think
of smell also, that a short period we smell and it goes away.
Flowers wilt. And so forth. So we try to let sense pleasures abate. We turn our mind from reverie about satisfying sense pleasures. One of the things we can do is turn the mind away from that. Now the suttas are full of ways to do this, many ways, and I'm not going to go into all of them. It's just that
Yeah.
It's just that mindfulness, being aware that they're there, and being ready to let go of them is, I think, for me, is very key.
And the next one is Vyapa, the ill will, that means.
Ill will. Again, we talked about that earlier in terms of anger.
Yeah.
First thing is necessary is to realize that it is present. It is present. And I'm not saying I am angry. I'm saying now I recognize that ill will is present in the mind.
Yeah.
Not my mind, but the mind. It's present. So I can do whatever is necessary to do to let go of it. Just letting go of it and turning away from it often is enough, especially after we've learned to meditate. It's possible to just let go of it. You know, be here now, as they say. Let go of the anger. If that doesn't work, we can think metta thoughts toward the thing we're angry about. May so-and-so be happy. May so-and-so be peaceful. We might try to understand so-and-so well. That person has a very difficult life or history. If we don't like my situation, I might just say I accept it because there's nothing I can do about it. So I'll just sit. So for ill will, it's a matter of recognizing it and then turning your mind away from it.
And the next one is Thinamit, then, sloth.
That's probably one of the most difficult. Because all I know is I'm tired and I don't feel like it.
The people who meditate, they postpone the sessions and doing meditation and doing the things, those are also that can be seen among the people, I think.
We call it procrastination. Well, I'll meditate tomorrow. Or later.
The next day also they postpone, I can
Exactly, and then a whole week has gone by and they haven't meditated and they say,
so
oh
I'm
my
very
goodness.
busy, then I can't meditate today, this week, and like that they tend to postpone the things.
So the other thing is that when we're trying to meditate, we might find that we're nodding off. We're actually sleepy. Maybe we didn't get enough sleep the night before. And there's all kinds of tricks about that. The Buddha says pull on your earlobes to wake up.
To wake up.
Yeah. I have been known to stand up and meditate while standing.
And one can use that method of walking meditation also.
Walking meditation, right? So stand up, stretch, walk around, throw water in your face. All mindfully as a meditative practice. So these are ways to overcome Thinamita. Number one, recognize it. Number two, get rid of it.
The next one is Uddhacca Kukkuca, that is the Pali term, that is restlessness of the mind.
Restlessness of the mind.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, you know,
it's
the
like
mind...
a flag in the air that's wagging here and there. Mind is like that.
It's more like a mouse running here and there, nowhere in particular, just going, just moving around rapidly. Or have you ever noticed a trail of ants moving? And then you stomp your foot and they go everywhere?
Yeah.
That's the mind. Just going everywhere.
It's just like a monkey that jumping from one tree to another tree.
See, what happens is we think about this and we get caught up in this train of associations and reveries. Like, for example, one might think about, let's say, I have to do this tomorrow. I have some job to do tomorrow. And then one thinks, well, I'll have to get this paperwork done first. Before I can get the paperwork, I have to call somebody. And if I call him, he doesn't like me, so maybe I'll do this. So I should do the other one first. And we start following all this down instead of just doing the meditation and watching the breath and whatnot. Getting caught up in reveries and thinking and whatnot. So that is one of the...
or thinking about the past and the future also can be considered as that restlessness of the mind, actually. Finally, that we come to the vicikicca, doubt.
Doubt. Doubt can be a pretty hard one. You know, the very fact that one is meditating, one has already overcome a lot of doubt.
Then...
because we believe that maybe meditation might help us. We wouldn't be meditating if we hadn't taken one step beyond doubt, you see. Why meditate?
So, how one can do meditation based on these hindrances?
Well, there is a discourse of the Buddha called the Satipatthana Sutta, or the setting up of mindfulness. And one of the one of the bases of this mindfulness meditation is mindfulness of the Dhamma, or the teachings of the Buddha. So when we do, one of these meditations is very powerful for these, to understand them, is to be mindfulness of these
5 hindrances.
5 hindrances. And the way that would be done is we just consider it, we contemplate. Well,
whether the meditator has these kind of hindrances at the moment.
Let us suppose that sense desire is present. Well, in mindfulness, we can observe sense desire internally. We can see it externally.
Yeah.
We can see it both internally and externally. Or we can see what are the factors that cause it to arise. Or we can see what are the factors that cause it to disappear. Or we can look at both of those.
Yeah.
Or we can just be mindful that, it's present in the mind.
Yeah.
You know. And in this way, it says in the Satipatthana Sutta, we dwell independent.
Dwell independent.
We live independent, with no grasping for the world. So we can do these, see it internally, externally, or both. Arising, passing away, or both. Or just see it as it is. So a Dhamma-nupassana, which is meditation on the Dhamma, we can actually do it for these 5 hindrances as objects.
As objects. As meditation objects.
Yeah, instead of the breath,
Yeah.
let's look at Tinamita, or let's look at Vyapada, and so on. Okay? That is one way to do it.
Yeah.
It's a very good meditation, by the way, for coming to understand one's own mind.
So when we are doing these kind of meditations to overcome these problems, when we are doing meditation, then can we have kind of that? Can you show then how one can do that?
Yeah. So let's do let's practice.
Demonstrate that.
Let's practice. Let us practice the mindfulness of the 5 hindrances.
Yeah.
In other words, this will be what they call anusati, which is recollection of these things. In other words, we'll just contemplate them. Just contemplate them. We'll think about them. Okay? Contemplation is a kind of meditation. Shall we do that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, we'll spend about 5 minutes on it, and we'll just do 1 minute for each one, and I'll kind of guide through it. When one is doing this for oneself, probably it's a good idea to take maybe 25 minutes to do it, 5 minutes on each one. Okay? So for introduction, we'll just do it one time.
Let's one point, then let's see that Kamachanda.
Okay, let's just do Kamachanda for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, meditation on Kamachanda.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So with any meditation, we'll start with taking a few deep breaths and just relaxing. Maybe observe the breath running in and out of the body. Now, think about sense pleasures. It can be anything, a sunset, the smell of a flower. It can be another person. So think about the time that you were drawn into wanting to fulfill or experience pleasure of the senses. Can you see this pleasure internally? as perhaps a flower, the odor of a flower, its fragrance. Or perhaps you're aware that you are smelling it. So externally there is fragrance, internally smelling. Or both. Or we may become aware of the arising nature of odors, of that good fragrance. Perhaps as we walk into a room full of flowers, and the declining of the fragrance, or both. Or we note now there is sense pleasure regarding fragrance. And in this way we dwell independent, not clinging to anything in the world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Bhante, being with us and giving us a very valuable topic. We understood that what are the hindrances and how we can overcome these hindrances. May the triple bless you.